Hey vlog, it's May 14th, no, it's May 15th, and I think today's the day. I think we're about to go purchase my school bus. We're about to go purchase a petite.
For the last 7 years of my life, the school bus has been the dream. A school bus has been the goal. And last year, on March 15th, 2021, that dream became a reality. And ever since then, I've been working super hard with my family by my side to get this bus on the road so I can live my dreams of traveling the country full time and seeing what this world has to offer. It may not have always been easy, and it may not have always been fun, but I can assure you one thing, it has definitely been pricey. But I've always known March 15th as the Ides of March, the day Julius Caesar died. But last year, all that changed, and now it's the day I got my bus.
I'm Sydney, and this is Optibus Prime. Hey y'all, so that intro was super dramatic, but consider that just a trailer for this channel. You know, I can't wait to start filming this process and showing y'all all the things I've done in the past and all the things for the future. So, I mean, y'all, it has been a full year since I woke up one morning and saw a listing on Facebook Marketplace and came home with a bus. I don't even know where to start. This is like super exciting. So I was thinking I could catch you guys up on this YouTube video. So, you know, to walk you through the different steps that I've taken to get to where I am a year later. So first thing is insurance and registration. You know, I'm in the state of Maryland, and first, before registration, I knew I needed to get insurance. So I went through Facebook groups, and I looked up insurance in Maryland. I found somebody else who had a question about insuring a school bus in Maryland, and boom, I found the agent she went through all in the comments without even having to contact her, and within 20 minutes I had insurance on my school bus. The next day, my mom and I figured out how we were going to register the school bus so that I could legally drive it on the road, and that was almost even as easy as the insurance, which is crazy because school buses, as you know, are a pain to register and insure. So what I did, I went to a DMV Express in Laurel, Maryland, and that's where I got my plates, my registration, like an updated title. I can't remember all the documents, but we were in and out in 20 minutes. So after registration, we had 30 days to get the bus painted. At this time, it is now May. You know, graduation for me is right around the corner. I just graduated from Howard University last year. So there was a lot on my plate. I was a full-time Depop seller. I was a full-time student who was looking to graduate, and I had just had a bus that needed to be painted in 30 days. So in the state of Maryland, the bus can no longer be yellow, and the seats have to be removed for it to be considered a personal bus. And the place we went to bring the bus to get inspected took 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks I had for the bus to be painted. The bus sat there for 3 weeks. So after the week was up and, you know, 30 days had passed, unfortunately, the bus was not painted. Painting the bus was a long, tedious process. We had to remove the decals, we had to sand, we had to wash the bus, we had to then tape off the bus. Masking the bus is a whole ordeal. So the bus was not registered in time that it needed to be. But thankfully, we were in COVID time, so we were able to get free extensions on that 30-day period. And so thankfully, with those free extensions, I was able to get the bus fully inspected, passing the inspection, and registered by, I believe, June. The bus was fully spray painted in June. This led to the demolition process, and let me tell you, I thought painting the bus was hard. Demolition has taken me this whole year. From tearing the walls apart, the ceiling down, ripping up the tracks on the floor, even just pulling up the plywood was so tedious and so much more work than I had really anticipated. I'm thinking, okay, one day I'm going to take out the walls, one day I'm going to take out the ceiling, one day I'm going to take out the tracks on the floor, one day I'm going to pull up the subfloor. No. I mean, each step took me at least 2 weeks. And granted, it was just me for the most part working on the bus, but when it came down to it, my dad was always there when I needed him to be because he was the muscles of this operation. After tearing the floor up and the walls down, I did have a small break because one, it was just extremely hot outside. It was really hard to work in this insulated bus in like 90 and up degree weather. But something exciting came about during this time period, and I was actually featured in Time magazine, and my portrait from this magazine actually was one of the best portraits selected for 2021. So I mean, that's just awesome. Unfortunately, the picture with the bus did not make the cut because it started raining like during the photo shoot. But just the fact that they had somebody, like Time magazine had somebody flown out from New York. Okay, really, he just drove his little car down here. But to have somebody come from New York and photograph me in my small little town, like that was really just beautiful to me. And the bus just, oh, so many opportunities with this bus. I can't wait. So moving on from, you know, just tearing down the basic parts of the bus, we get to the floor. And the floor is really what just stole the show. Because when we ripped up that subfloor, we had noticed just piles and piles of rust. I mean, seriously, so much rust fell from my bus floor that I had to sweep it up. But that is a whole nother video that I have already filmed for you guys, so definitely go check that out. But that rusted floor we had to bring into a shop to get professionally welded because at that point the rust was starting to look structural. So the bus sat at the shop. It was supposed to be there for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, it sat there for 5 weeks, and that just completely set me off of my schedule for the bus to be done. But that's fine because I love my floor. Everything worked out. That was just a very stressful period in my life for me, waiting for that to be done. At this point, the floor was up, the walls were down, and all that needed left to come down in terms of demolition was tearing down the ceiling behind me. Oh Lord, that was a task in itself because the drill that I had to use to unscrew all of the little screws was so heavy, y'all. So heavy. It took a lot of muscle strength for me to come out here and unscrew it because everyone has like those small little impact drills. My dad has like this giant like machine gun of a drill that I was using over my head. I'm only 5'1" and my ceiling is actually 6'6", so I had to reach really far above my head to unscrew each ceiling, and just unscrewing the ceiling took forever. During this time, I was also calling insulation companies because I knew that I needed the bus to be insulated if I was going to work on it during the winter. And you know, in hindsight, I did not work on it during the winter, but that's besides the point. So finally we get the ceiling down, and that's fun. But something else I find in the ceiling, I had bees, a whole bee's nest, or maybe wasp nest, living in my ceiling. But that's fine. We got that all cleaned out. In fact, we even put like one of those bug bombs in my bus, and I think that might have been what killed the bees, or I don't know, they could have been in there for years. But we got those out and everything was fine. So moving on from removing the ceiling, which was a tedious task, the next thing that we did was hire somebody to come in and spray the bus down with spray foam. I always say hiring someone to do the job is your most productive day off. So I want to do as much of the bus as possible, but there's some things I have to be realistic about, and that was spray foam. I was not going to touch the spray foam. I paid someone to do that, and I got a great deal for $850. All the other quotes were like $2,000. So after the spray foam, it was 2 weeks until Christmas, and I wanted the subfloor down. I needed the subfloor to go down so that I could install my diesel heater and work on the bus throughout the winter. That did not happen, and thank the Lord it did not, because when it started snowing during the winter, the roof started to leak. You know, I sprayed the bus with hoses and everything. I never saw leaks. It wasn't until like 5 inches of snow started melting onto the bus when it found every single crack and seam to get into the bus and start leaking water. If I had laid my subfloor down when I wanted to, that floor would have been rotted. My home would have started molding. This is my full-time home, people. I'm building this home to live in full-time for as long as the world lets me. And so if that had happened, the build that I would have spent so much time on, put my whole heart into, would have been ruined within 2 years. So it really was a blessing that I did not put that subfloor in when I did. So fast forward to winter, I was mostly coming outside. I was coming out here every now and then to try and seal up a few leaks in the bus when I could, but it was just so cold outside. I wasn't trying. It just wasn't really worth it to me because I could tell that there was a lot of work that needed to be done outside, which was sealing the leaks outside of the bus. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I am now. I'm still sealing up leaks in the bus, but so far things are looking pretty good. I still have this one reoccurring leak that I do not understand what is happening. But I have faith that in due time, this bus is gonna be to the fun part. They always say that a school bus conversion is gonna cost more money than you expected and take way longer than you expected, and both of those have proven to be so true. But I will tell you, even though I'm not on the road like I thought I would be by now, I think this time, one, just spending it with my family has just been such a huge blessing. On top of that, if I had built out the floor plan that I had wanted when I first started this bus, even just the floor plan I had in October, the rooftop deck plan I had in November, December, is so far from what I have planned now. And who knows, it could still change, but I'm telling you guys, I am building my dream home, and I'm willing to let it take as long as it needs to take, because this is full time for me. Like, this is my life. I am 23 years old, and this is the beginning of this new chapter of my life. This is something I have been dreaming for ever since 10th grade. This is something that can't be done in 4 months, and I don't know what I was thinking when I thought of this. I would have had to sell the bus that I originally wanted in like 2 years, but that's not what I want from this lifestyle. I have always been the kind of person who likes to build things. I got this from my dad because my dad can do anything and everything. So anytime something was broken, he would fix it. Like, I've never seen a handyman in my house because my dad is the handyman. Watching that just like really proved to me, like, you can do anything. Like, why not? Like, why not do something? Because you could pay someone to do something, or you could learn how to do it yourself, and then you have that skill forever. A question I used to get asked all the time, like, why not just buy an RV? The RV isn't what I wanted. Of course I am excited to travel, but I also am excited to make what I travel in. And sure, I could renovate an RV, but then there's a whole lot of other reasons why I didn't want an RV. Like, just one obvious reason is safety. A school bus is a tank, man. A school bus is a tank. And that leads me to my upcoming video coming this Thursday on why I bought a school bus instead of an RV, and why I think if you are debating between the two, you might want to go with the school bus. But like, that's just my bias. There are many awesome things about I'm gonna save it for the video. So I really love my bus. I'm so excited for it to be here, for me to be here, and I'm so excited for you to be here. So if you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe. My socials are down below. My socials are probably up here too, because I'll probably edit that in. But thank you for being here. Seriously, thank you for being here. Okay, bye. Oop. It's now March 15th, the Ides of March, the day Julius Caesar was stabbed in the back 15,000 times by his friends. Okay, that's irrelevant to the story, but that's how I remember the anniversary of the day I bought my bus.